You know, another question I've been prescribing for years, and an advisor used this question with my mother, and I was deeply impressed with the effect of this question. But when he got to the point where he could tell she was really wondering, thinking, you know, maybe I do want to work with this person, he said, there's one more question I need to ask you. It almost reminded me of Columbo. He said, have you had any experiences with any other financial professionals, either good or bad, that you think would be worth your time to tell me about? Have you had any experiences with any other financial professionals, either good or bad, that you think would be worth your time to tell me about? Oh, my mom had a story. Somebody done her wrong. And do you know, other than me, it's the only other person she ever told that story to. Now he's one of those two people. I was in Orlando at an MDRT event here about 2 years ago, and I got done with my speech, and a young man came running down the aisle at the end of my speech, and he said, I got to tell you something. I think he must have been like 30 years old, right? And he said, I heard you in Houston about 6 months ago. And he said, do you remember the question about, have you had any experiences with other financial? Yeah. He said, I went home and started asking that question of every single prospect. And he said, sometimes their face turned red. And he said, they got emotional, and they told me stories. And he said, almost every time they said, thanks for asking. Well, why wouldn't you ask? Well, anyway, let me give you the net on this. He said, in 8 weeks, I wrote more business than I did the entire last year from starting with that conversation. Well, why wouldn't you ask that? How many of you have ever brought up a topic and found out, oops, I brought up the wrong topic? Anybody have that experience? That's called square dancing in a minefield.